They didn't got me started, y'all. Let's talk about it. Darvin Ham fired by the Lakers. No surprise there at all. We all kind of expected this. There was rumblings right after they got eliminated. You could just get that vibe, that feel throughout the team and everything that this was on its way. So it's no surprise to anybody, right? So when it happens, me being me, because I do this for a living. I talk about basketball for a living. I watch basketball for a living, right? I go on my Twitter account that I can control. I can say whatever the hell I want to say. And I say 4 coaches in 7 years. At some point, the blame has to go elsewhere, right? They got 100. I mean, no, not 100. Excuse me. So far, that's not even been an hour. That has 153 retweets. That has 1,400 likes, right? So by the middle of the day, this I don't know how many likes it's gonna get. This is just going and going and going. So a lot of people agree, right? But it also got some quotes and replies and different things like this. And this is my main point. This is why Laker Nation is annoying to a lot of basketball people, right? And there's a lot of every fan base has some level of annoyance. But I think Lakers are just like in this tier of their own. And even as a Knick fan, I think Knick fans and Knick Nation can do a little much. I can agree with that. But the Lakers are always just on this different tier. It's all that's universally known. That's just the consensus around the basketball community. And this is why I say, I'm gonna repeat it for y'all. 4 coaches in 7 years, right? It's been 3, but they're about to hire the 4th one, which would make it 4 in 7 years. At some point, the blame has to go somewhere else, right? That's all I said. I'm going to look y'all dead in this camera. I say this with all due respect, because I might say this a couple times about a few different things or a few different people. Dog, listen, I promise y'all, I don't care about Darvin Ham. I can't say it enough. I had to tell Laker fans this several times. Dog, I don't care about Darvin Ham. Not in the slightest. There's not a bone in my body that feels the need to defend Darvin Ham. Because as soon as this tweet went out, every Laker fan, oh man, come on, P, you couldn't have been watching. Darvin Ham was a bad coach. Cool. Y'all want to run with Darvin Ham was a bad coach? That's fine. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. I'm not here to defend any coach that has ever coached. I'm not here to defend anything Laker-wise. I don't give a damn about the Lakers that much to defend anything. All I do is call it how I see it. And when you are a team and an organization who continuously tells us that y'all are putting these teams together to compete for a championship, that is what y'all goal is year in and year out since y'all had LeBron James. Even after that first year with Luke Walton and the young guys, right? We'll let that year pass. But the reason to get LeBron and the reason LeBron went to y'all was to compete for championships year in and year out, because that's the Laker way. 4 coaches in 7 years does not cut it, especially when one of those coaches got you a championship. Granted, it was in the bubble. It's still a championship to me. It still counts. Y'all got a championship. When you look around at the NBA and you see these teams who constantly compete, they're constantly contending. There's a new formula. There's a new method. And the formula comes from consistency. The consistency is all through the organization, right? That's like the new wave of the NBA. Now, in the 2010s, what the Lakers are doing, you might have been able to do. You know what I'm saying? You might have been able to do that. But the NBA is an entirely different game. From the coaching carousel, the musical chairs with the coaching, the role players and the expensive role players and just team building, it's an entirely different game, y'all. It's an entirely different game. And when I look around at the teams who are staying consistent, a lot of them have gone out and found that coach that they're going to cling to, and they're going to empower, right, from their coaching style to the relationship with the players, the program, how they run things, the vibe, everything. They're going to buy into that. They're going to allow that coach to throw his imprint all onto the team and have a DNA, and it's going to build a legitimate culture. And I'm not saying it in a corny way where we got a heat culture, because I know sometimes the heat culture thing can get a little corny because they branded it and put it on the jerseys and all of that. But heat culture is a real thing. I don't care what Twitter is talking about. The internet isn't a real place. Heat culture is real. I don't care how annoying it is to continue to hear it. I don't care if you don't like that it's on a sweatshirt or the jersey. I didn't like that they put it on a jersey either. Heat culture is real, though. When you look at the Spurs, they have culture. Even in the down years, we still talk about the Spurs with a certain level of respect and we give them a certain benefit of the doubt because we know what they're about. Their cachet is too strong for us to just disrespect them at a certain level. They run things the right way. Even when they're losing and having down years, there's a certain pedigree that comes with that organization. It's the same thing with Miami. We talk about and think about Miami the same way, whether they're having a great season, a down season, whatever. You always go into the game or the series respecting the Miami Heat and understanding that they're going to be a team that is going to have certain principles throughout the top, like the front office, ownership, GM, to the coaching, to the players, to the staff. There's just a certain culture there. And when you look around at other teams that are trying to become, you know, a LA Laker or whatever with the winning and they want to have that around their name, it's the same thing. You look at how the Nuggets are ran. The Nuggets have a certain consistency from the top to the coaching to the players that now is going to have them in contention for a very long time. The Warriors didn't have coaches flying off. No. Even when things got down for Steve Kerr, they were understanding of, hey, we're losing right now because we have our best players are hurt. We just lost Kevin Durant, brought in D'Angelo Russell. There's no Steph Curry. There's no Klay Thompson. We're going to lose games, and that's okay. But we're going to find a way to grow from this, to pull from this, and use it as our advantage to then propel ourselves back. And that's exactly what they did. You look at the Nuggets. They had years that were, I guess, disappointing because they had injuries and all of the things that the Lakers deal with, right? Certain role players don't fit or they're not playing as good, and then you have certain injuries to really important pieces. There was a year, I think Jokic first MVP, there was no Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, and they got a first-round exit. They didn't rush and scramble. They didn't find the necessary need to blame somebody. Hey, man, Mike Malone ain't doing what he need to do. No, because you're building something there. You're building something important. You look at Orlando. I would be surprised. And as a matter of fact, I'm not even going to say I'm going to be surprised. Jamal Mosley just got extended because when you find that coach and you find that voice and you find that vibe to build with, it is so important to keep it. That's why you look around and everybody's trying to do it. All of the winning teams, that's what they have. So when I look at a team like the Lakers, who are trying to win, and that's their forefront, but you have 4 coaches in 7 years, it ain't rocking. Even the Bucks, we all, as a consistency in the NBA, we looked around at the Bucks like, yo, y'all firing Adrian Griffin this fast? Like, I understand, I kind of understand that I didn't feel the same championship vibe either, but it definitely was crazy because it was like, this don't feel like a championship thing to do. And granted, they had some injuries in the first round. That's why they lost to the Pacers and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But it just don't give that, you know what I mean? Like everything just, it shows you the standpoint and the difference of a championship team, a championship organization versus some other teams that are scrambling. And those things come back to backfire you. Now, hopefully for the Bucks, they can bounce back because you had Budenholzer, then you with Griffin, then you with Doc. Hopefully, you figure that out right there. And if you get some success with Doc, you just stick and ride it out with Doc. Now, if you have to go into next year and it don't go your way and then you fire Doc, now you're finding yourself in the same situation as the Lakers. So I hope the Bucks don't look back and regret firing Budenholzer. Because, again, we're going to look back and say that's a guy you won a championship with. There was some understanding. But the panic of, man, Giannis might not be happy and all of this extra bullshit, and now you're scrambling, you go run and get somebody, you feel like Giannis likes him, you're going about trying to satisfy the player, and now you're on Doc Rivers, who I think I like Doc Rivers more than average people do. I'm not saying he's the greatest coach, but now if that falls apart, now again, you're going to be kind of like the Lakers, except it won't be 7 years. You're going to be running through coaches, and you're never going to be able to consistently find any foundation. There's a foundation when it comes to team building. And when you have these type of teams, the way that they're put together, you're already probably going to have a revolving door with players, right? Because you constantly have to you have to trade in and trade out role players. You know what I mean? Role players are always trying to go get their bag because they're not star players who are signing max contracts for 4 years, 5 years, anything. So if Malik Beasley shoot the ball 40% from 3 1 year, and then there's a team that come out that's desperate for 3-point shooting, and they're like, hey, we'll give you this little 3-year deal, this a little bag for you to pry you away from your last team. Malik Beasley got a bite at that. No matter how much he like Milwaukee or what he want to do, he got a bite at that because he got to go get his bag. Role players are in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So because you already have that a revolving door, you at least want to have some type of structure and foundation at the coaching standpoint and up top and with your core players, and you just do it. But if you got to constantly rotate role players, you constantly rotating coaches, you know what I'm saying? You constantly figuring out if you're going to keep your star player. Dog, we don't know. And there's just no consistency with the Lakers. Every time the Lakers mess up or fall short, it's the coach and it's some random role player that none of us are banking on to carry this thing through. When they got Russell Westbrook, I was excited for them, right? And I tried to buy into it because you have to be somewhat open-minded. But we all knew that shit was like, it was like, man, could it work? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? A perfect world, yeah, you want to see it work, you know what I'm saying? But in the back of our mind, we all said, hey, this shit also look bad. This shit also could be disgustingly bad. And it was disgustingly bad. To me, that's not a coaching thing. To me, it didn't matter if it was Frank Vogel, Darvin Ham, any of these other candidates that they got here named. Dog, that Russell Westbrook fit that wasn't a coaching thing. There was no coach who could figure that out. That is what I mean by the blame has to go elsewhere. Giving up Caruso, KCP, Kuzma, all of the pieces that got lost after that. And then you bring in Russell Westbrook. What was it? You chose THT over Caruso or something like all of those. That has nothing to do with coaching. Those are the reasons why y'all are where y'all at. KCP is doing the damn thing with the Nuggets. Alex Caruso is one of the most coveted role players and defenders in the league with the Bulls over there. Hell, Kyle Kuzma went to Washington, and his little stretch with Washington is better than what Russell got with the Lakers. So when I see y'all Laker fans constantly sit here on the timeline and y'all throw this little weak ass party because y'all fired Darvin Ham, I don't have anything to defend Darvin Ham. All I'm saying to y'all is, damn, y'all think that's all it is? Y'all be sitting here and watching all 82 games, putting y'all life into this Laker team, and that is enough for y'all? Where y'all are like, oh man, we fired Darvin Ham, let's get it. That's y'all mentality. Y'all look around the Western Conference where everybody's getting better. A lot of these other teams have concrete coaching positions and foundations. The Grizzlies, who was hurt and banged up this year, is not going to have. Now they're going to have a top pick. They have some tradable contracts, and they have a core with a coach who's been there. Taylor Jenkins has been there. They've empowered him. The same way the Nuggets have done with Mike Malone. The same way the Timberwolves are going to do with Chris Finch. The same way the Celtics were doing with Ime before his situation. Now they're going to do it with Joe Mazzulla. The Warriors did it with Steve Kerr. The Spurs with Greg Popovich. The Heat with Spoelstra. The Knicks are probably going to do it with Thibodeau. Then you have some other jobs that I get it. Depending on how the Clippers and Ty Lue, the way that the Clippers are running, who knows how that's going to look. The Mavericks with Jason Kidd, who knows how that's going to look. But there's a new way that teams are going about doing things. There's a new way to team build. There's a new way to empower your coach. This idea that y'all just going to fire coach and then what? Y'all about to bring JJ Redick in as another rookie head coach, and he's just going to magically have all of the answers, and y'all are just going to run through the Western Conference and win a championship. Every time we talk about the Lakers, we keep talking about how much basketball Bron has left, how much gas is left in the tank. You know what I mean? Like, we keep talking about that. It's the time is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the Lakers, the answer to that is to continue and bring in rookie head coaches. Really. And then a rookie head coach goes through things that rookie head coaches go through, and we sit here and we act surprised. We shit on them. Oh man, did you see what Darvin Ham did there? I'm not making no excuse for him, but I'm also not surprised because Darvin Ham was a rookie head coach. This is what rookie head coaches do. That's why sometimes you look at championship teams, they don't fucking hire rookie head coaches. They don't. They take somebody who has already been, and if they are a rookie head coach, they'll take somebody that was already implemented in what they had going on. It was easy for the Celtics to pivot to Joe Mazzulla as a rookie head coach when the Ime thing happened, because he was already there. He's already a voice that they're used to. He already knew some of the characteristics from the players. He already knew their tendencies, what they liked, what they like to be, how they operate in the locker room. There wasn't this brand new voice and brand new person who you're just so unfamiliar with. You get what I'm saying? I think when David Black got fired, if I'm not mistaken, Tyronn Lue was a part of that coaching staff already. So you just usher somebody in who already had familiarity there. When they went and got Darvin Ham, he came from a whole different team, a whole different situation. That's a whole new voice. Some of these options that they got up here, coming from a whole different team, a whole different. You're not telling me that they're going to get Phil Handy, somebody who had already been there for X amount of years. That's not what you're telling me. You're telling me JJ Redick. You're telling me Kenny Atkinson. You're telling me who else did they have up here? Mike Budenholzer. And these are some guys I like. Even Ty Lue, if whatever happens with him and the Clippers. I'm not against these names. I'm just saying a rookie head coach part with JJ Redick and the Darvin Ham thing, the reaction to it, I don't know. But even if you bring some of these guys' name in, it's like we're going through the cycle again. That first year, for somebody like LeBron to be at the stage he had in his career, that first year, it's not impossible to win the championship that first year, but you always have to give that leeway, because a coach has to come in, he has to get familiarized with the roster. He has to get familiarized with his star players. It's one thing looking at LeBron from afar. It's one thing coaching LeBron on a day-by-day basis. And I'm not saying that in a negative or positive way. I'm just saying that that's just the reality of it. You have to gel. LeBron has to get used to who his coach is and how it's good. The players have to buy into that as well and get used and accustomed to all of that. You have to give a year grace period for that. For everything to gel, their philosophies, how they want to do things, a defensive-minded coach, an offensive-minded coach, how he wants to implement things. The players also have to have that period where they buy into it, because a coach might come in and do some new shit. He may say, hey, I want you right there. And you're like, oh, I'm used to playing right here. And trust me. And then a player got to go through all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are all things that have to get implemented. This ain't 2K. And then the times we have had rookie coaches come in and have some major success, they've had some incredible teams. When Steve Kerr came in right into the Warriors, beautiful. And that's not to take away anything from Steve Kerr. I'm not saying that there's not exceptions or anomalies. There's exceptions and anomalies to everything. But I think that Warriors team was a lot different than this Laker team that somebody else is going to inherit. If JJ Redick becomes y'all head coach, I think it's going to be a lot different than Steve Kerr walking into a Golden State Warrior team that you're getting Steph entering his prime. You're getting Clay entering his prime. You're getting Dre entering his prime. And then down the line, I'm going to give you Kevin Durant in the middle of his prime. We were seeing Steve Kerr leave, and we were seeing Luke Walton step in and do the same shit. Again, not to discredit Steve Kerr, but like that was a whole different team walking into a Laker team that has LeBron at what? Let me make sure I know LeBron's age. LeBron is 39. Yeah, LeBron is 39. Next December, he'll be 40. Next December, LeBron James is going to be 40 years old. And he's going to have what? A head coach in his first year, potentially a first-time head coach. I don't know. My whole thing and my whole point, with all of that being said, is I don't know how you can be a Laker fan and look at this situation and feel good. Now, if your argument is this, hey, P, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that Darvin Ham should have been fired. Then me and you ain't in a disagreement. Comprehension is important. Not one tweet, not anything I said in this video is to defend Darvin Ham. I'm just saying what it is. Darvin Ham was a rookie head coach. I'm not saying that is okay or that makes anything that's not an excuse. It's just a fact. An excuse and a fact can be 2-in-1, but a lot of times they're far from different. Darvin Ham is a rookie head coach. That's a fact. If he want to use an excuse that somebody else do, cool. But I'm just telling you the facts. LeBron James is 39 and will be 40 in December. That's a fact. JJ Redick has no head coaching experience. That's a fact. You look at the way that these other teams are coaching in the NBA, they're empowering their coaches. That's a fact. I'll say it again. Never met Darvin Ham. Never had a conversation with him. I've known Darvin Ham as a player when I was growing up. He played for the Pistons team that beat the Lakers. Didn't like anybody on that team for a long time because I'm such a Kobe fan. I don't have nothing to defend Darvin Ham with. Laker fans are saying, oh man, you've been a Laker hater. Dog, I don't give a fuck about the Lakers. In order for me to hate on something, I have to give a fuck about it. The Lakers don't do shit for me. The Lakers don't pay my bills. The Lakers ain't gave me a free hoodie. They ain't give me a free ticket to the game when I went. The Lakers ain't did shit for me. I like Kobe Bryant. I love Kobe Bryant, LeBron, Lamar Odom, Anthony Davis, and a few other random players that have played for the Lakers over the course of all of these years. But the Lakers as a whole, I don't care about them enough to hate on them. I don't care about any of these NBA teams enough to hate on them. I'm an analyst. I look at situations and I analyze them and I call them out for what they are. I've done these same type of I've pointed out same type of things with every organization, even my own, the Knicks. I don't give a damn about these biased ass opinions y'all have. That's why don't nobody pay y'all for them shits. That's why don't nobody give a fuck about what y'all saying. Because y'all fail to be able to have reasonable conversations backed by reasonable understanding. Your conversations and your points all come from the fact that you like a team. I don't care about how much I like a team. I'm going to keep it real. The facts are the facts. The truth is the truth. There's a time and a place to be a biased fan. The spot that the Lakers in, I just don't think that this is the time to be a biased fan. Real fans should look at this and feel away. They shouldn't feel away because Darvin Ham got fired. No, you don't look and throw a temper tantrum like, why did we fire Darvin? It's the fact that y'all should be able to see, because I always give credit to fans. I've said for a long time, I think and believe fans have grown to be a lot more intelligent than NBA front office think they are. That's why a lot of teams try to do propaganda and do shit to fool the fan base and get them excited. In 2024, fans don't fall for the bullshit no more. Fans are quick to be like, nah, we're not buying that. Nah, gotta do more than that. And so I felt the same way about Laker fans. But when I see y'all cheering and I see y'all responding to me the way y'all did when I said some shit that I thought y'all was going to be in cahoots with, it blows my mind. Y'all think 4 coaches in 7 years is acceptable? Y'all think that's how y'all going to build a championship level team that y'all want? Oh, then y'all new Laker fans. The Laker fans I grew up with, when I was watching Kobe hang up them batters and Kobe compete for championships, and I seen 2 different Kobe championship teams. I saw the one with Shaq, the 3P, and I saw the 2P with Gasol. It was a whole different talk, a whole different vibe, a whole different structure and way of doing things. A whole different way. And even in those dark down days, the Lakers pulled themselves out and they fought and they clawed. And granted, it was a different time and day. Yeah, teams weren't just going out here and I'm going to just go get Anthony Davis. Shaq left, so let's just go get this. You know, it was a different time. Yeah, Kobe ain't have a revolving door where he could just play with T-Mac, AI. It's way different. Way, way different. And I can admit to that. But still, there was just a certain way about the level that the Lakers love to be at and how they're going to get back to that point. That's all I'm saying. That's really all I'm saying. And I think even post the Gasol championship years, the Lakers started to get into that shit, and you didn't see any success from that. You go get Steve Nash and Dwight Howard, and granted, on paper that looked good. Then you go and get Mike D'Antoni, and then you got Mike Bryant. Like, they ran through coaches in that era, and that ain't lead to nothing. So it appalls me when the same ownership don't learn from that. When y'all was winning, y'all had a solidified coach that y'all empowered, which was Phil Jackson, and y'all put good teams together for him to coach, and that won. Then he left, Shaq left, y'all struggled. Y'all looked real bad. And y'all had to climb y'all way back out, and then Phil come back again. Let's put another good team together. Let's empower Phil. Let Phil do what he do. Him and Kobe gonna get together and do what they do. We're gonna build the team, and we're gonna win. And y'all won just that same way. So for y'all to go against that now, when y'all have all of this proof in front of y'all how this shit work, it's mind blowing. And I really, if we being just a completely, we 25 minutes in, we just continue to still be honest. I was surprised when they fired Frank Vogel, y'all. Again, it's not me here to defend any coach. I like Frank Vogel. But I'm just, that's just not the point of the conversation I'm having. It's not to defend anybody. That's for a whole other conversation. I was just still surprised that they fired him because he won a championship. And then those down years after that, I felt like were things that were outside of his hands and outside of his control. You know what I mean? Anthony Davis was extremely banged up after the championship into the bubble. A lot of players were. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't had that same feel. There was a lot going on. A lot of guys didn't return. There was roster turnaround. That was a weird time for Laker Nation. So I was very confused when they let him go. And then you let him go and you bring in a rookie coach, and you bring in a rookie coach into a situation that was very, I don't even know the word to describe it. But the second year with Russ, that's a tough situation to bring a rookie coach in. Russ is a former MVP who we wasn't at the point yet where we was looking at Russ as like an off the bench guy. He had just came from Washington where he had another really great year. You have LeBron James, you know, the second best player to ever play the game. You have Anthony Davis. There's a lot going on. And to just throw a rookie head coach into the middle of all of that and expect him to figure it out was kind of strange. So, yeah, I just think, like I said, my main point in my tweet, my main point in my thought process for everything is that I just don't believe that the Lakers or their fans can look at the situation and say it's a Darvin Ham thing. The energy to me should be bigger than Darvin Ham. How many coaches are you going to go through until you realize that this is a much more than a coaching problem? Blaming a coach is merely a singular percentage of it. If it's a full pizza, that's firing Darvin Ham or using Darvin Ham on why y'all fell short. That's 25% of the pizza. You still got 75% of the pizza left. You have a front office, that's a 25%. You got a player personnel, that's another 25%. You got a 25% problem that might not be able to be answered, which is the rest of the fucking NBA. So my whole thinking and my whole point this whole time was Darvin Ham is just a very, very small portion of that pie. So for y'all to do backflips and cartwheels and chant and be happy and stuff, it's very weird to me because, okay, hypothetically speaking, you bring in Coach Budenholzer. Okay, nice upgrade. But does the roster have enough where Budenholzer could get y'all over the hump against a Denver Nuggets, against Timberwolves? The OKC are going to not be as young and don't have experience no more. The Grizzlies are going to be back. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that going to be enough? I guess we'll see. And if he isn't enough, is it then the coach again? That's the quote I'll leave y'all with. There's a poet from Brooklyn. His name is Fabulous. Fabulous said once, people want different results, but do the same shit. Understand that. People want different results, but do the same shit. I immediately think of that when I look at the Lakers. The Lakers want different results. They don't want first round exits. They don't want sweeps in the conference finals. They want championships. They want to get back to what they did in the bubble. They want championships. And a part of me feels like because it was the bubble, they really want one outside of the bubble. And it's not because the bubble won what people say online, but I think it was hard to celebrate the bubble championship because you didn't have a parade. It was still COVID. It was coming out, still lockdown. It was a different time. So I'm sure they want to win a championship the regular way where you can have a parade and go in downtown LA on a bus and on a float and really do it up. They want to do that, and they not wrong for wanting to do that. So they like, let's go get another one. And LeBron want to win more than one with LA. I know it. You know what I'm saying? Of course. So if you want that, why are y'all doing the same shit? It's the same shit. You hire Frank Vogel. You fire Frank Vogel. You hire Darvin Ham. Fire Darvin Ham. I'm not even including Luke Walton in this. You're about to hire this next guy. and you're eventually going to fire him too. And the reason I know you're going to fire him is because the real issue and the real problem is the way that this team was put together and the routes they've gone to put together this team. They don't have wiggle room. So you have to really be buying into this roster and think that this is a championship roster and it's just missing a coach. If that is your approach and that's your thinking, I can let you live with that. Me knowing what I know as a basketball person, this roster needs a lot of work. There is not a lot of wiggle room. The most that they have is these first round picks that are far, far into the future, 2030. You're not trading Bron. You're not trading Anthony Davis. D'Lo has a player option. He's probably going to opt out because I just don't think he wants to continue to be a part of this circus Laker thing. Outside of that, I mean, is Austin Reeves and first round picks getting you a star? Is that enough for the Hawks to give you Trae Young? Potentially. But is Trae Young the answer? Is that enough to get you Donovan Mitchell from Cleveland? And if, you know what I mean, like, it ain't like they got some gold mine package. It ain't like they OKC as far as assets where it's just a bunch of different routes, or they're Philadelphia with $60 million going into free agency. That's not the case. So what are we talking about? The team has to be put together for the coach to coach. And as long as you keep just looking at the coach, I think you're going to find yourself being here. I just thought NBA fans are much smarter. I didn't think y'all would keep falling for the same type of propaganda. Maybe I was wrong. As always, it's all love. I'm your boy Pee Wee the Plug. We locked in here all playoffs. Don't forget that. My Knicks video where I just celebrate, it'll come in the next day or so. Give me some time, man. Give me some time. I'm still soaking in that dub. I'll see y'all, though. I'm out.